All right. Hello, everyone. I think we're live. Hello, guys, and
Hello.
thanks for joining us today for the third episode of our little gig. Today we have our good friends from Spain and Italy and Germany, I guess.
I guess
we
too.
have Lorenzo, we have Celeste, and we have Sara and Alex from
Hi.
how do you pronounce it? Quick sip, quick sip.
Quick sip.
Yeah, quick sip. Um, so yeah, we're still waiting for another of our guys, Giovanni, but probably getting delayed. But hopefully he'll join us shortly. Um, let's see. How you guys been doing?
Well, I guess just as good as everybody else in these times. But good. I gotta say, we're all healthy and we're getting through this moment by keeping busy and working as usual. I think that's our way to get done with this.
Yeah, we spent each second of this time to implement it and make it bigger. So it's normally it's a good time for us, yeah.
It is. It's a good time for real-time communications in general, and being part of that ecosystem. I think we chose the right segment to be into with our project.
Yeah, it's a good profession, yeah. Be engineer in this area. Yeah, it's all good.
Celeste knows best.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that, we came up in a situation where our business is became quite important. Real-time communication and everything that is related to video calls or VoIP, just general calls, became quite important and much closer to the general end user. So I hear people doing yoga classes using
Fitness,
Jitsi
yeah.
or things that never been even mentioned before. And nowadays, anybody, even my mother, is just joining this kind of applications. So, of course, what we do is monitoring, and as expert in monitoring VoIP and already friendly and integrated with the major WebRTC platforms, we thought that this was also our time to kick in and make things even better. So the point of Omer from especially in the last couple of years, has been to become a framework. So anything related to VoIP and SIP and protocols that can be used in VoIP became part of our platform, and we decided that we wanted to do this also for the WebRTC. So when this crisis and everything started, and we started to see how things were going, we decided to use the core of our open source model and open the doors. So we started new collaborations, we started new projects. So we became a partner with the University of Federico II in Naples, and we are now able to get students and be part also of the education of the students from this point of view. Since again, it's becoming more important and most we think that it's important to start to know these things even from when you're young. So most of the kids and people that are studying nowadays, not even they don't even know that this is a job that exists. So being part of the university and being able to do seminars and things like that, of course, is going to help the future of the new developers for the real-time communication. As well, we starting a new project together with Mozilla. It's called the Mozilla Builders, and in there we are trying to create a new product that is called Meetings, web conferencing tool. Again, also this one part of the framework to being able to be expert and monitor the WebRTC from inside, and maybe Lorenzo can explain a little bit better what this is about and how it will work. But again, this was a great occasion for us to have new collaborations, get to know new peers, get to know people that with the unlucky moment of being stuck inside, but when you're just willing to do and curious to do, we've been able to meet new people that in the past so we didn't have any chance. And again, great partnership and great work and new inspiration are coming up from all of this. So on the other side, of course, this crisis hit us as everybody, because open source means also that you cannot get to grants, or all these helps and things that are coming up are not meant for us. We are a small company, we are already working remotely, so anything that on one side always has been like the bad side of our business became in this moment, of course, clear in the terms of the bureaucracy and officiality. But we always knew that. So we create the business model, and I explain a little bit of this in the OpenShips, the past year summit of the OpenShips. So we have this Robinhood model that we try to use in our business, where everything that comes from the commercial. So we have Happy and these products that are on the commercial side, and they brings in the budget that we invest fully on the development and in the growth of the company. And this was the roadmap that we had for this year, and it didn't change. Even with everything that came up in the last couple of months, we continue straight ahead. So again, we are growing. We just opened a new branch in Spain, and Sara and I are here building a new office that got closed the week after that we opened it. But again, we are here trying to keep it up. The development team grew the most this year, and everything is going towards the enhancements of the product, and to be able to go on with the roadmap that we thought. On the other side, we got also a lot of feedback in this moment from customers and users. Again, since everybody are really using a lot real-time communication products, of course, we have been able to have more use cases and have a better acknowledgement of what are the requirements that our customers and users need. So we have some also newbies and new things to show for the Homer roadmap for this year.
Cool. Actually, that's a question I have for you guys. I never really heard about. Maybe you talked about this on some of the summits. What's the history of QuickSip? Who started it, and how did it all?
Lorenzo can explain it better.
Yeah, I can be the story a little bit. So, of course, it all starts with Alexander and his ideas. So I think it was one summer, a long time ago. Alexander came up with the beginning of what became Homer, and he was introducing. I think it was a ClueCon
2010,
a good, over 10 years ago. And I was on that call, and I heard like this guy was talking about something, and the call quality wasn't very good back then, so I couldn't understand really anything, but I knew it was interesting. So I dropped Alexander an email, and I said, hey, I'm really interested in what you're doing and whatever else. And he said, if I don't remember wrong, he said, I'm going on holidays tomorrow, and I come back in a month. Here's a zip file with everything, and when I come back, I'm going to send you an email. And I think I used that month to make the beginning of the Homer UI that we have had for a long time, that then became 3, I think.
Yeah.
When Alexander came back, he saw it, he liked it, we started working together. And then at some point, I think we opened a company here in Amsterdam, just as a optimistic approach to succeeding. We decided, hey, I mean, if we have a company, it's going to be easier for a company to succeed rather than just talk about it. And I think that's how it started.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and so far it looks good, and works well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also we met. We all this time we did communication exactly in Hangout and in Google Talk, and really we met only after 5 years or 4 years.
Yeah, a good 4 years later.
On Kamaili World.
Yeah, Kamaili World. First time we met and said, hello, hi, Lorenzo, I'm Alex.
Yeah. And we're 200 kilometers away, of course.
And it shows exactly, yeah, it's 220 kilometers distance between us, and it shows very good how real-time communications and can change the life, yeah. So, and we trust each other, so it's. And so far, you see, we have Homer 5, we have Homer 7, Homer 7.7, and we have Epic, and a lot of bunch of projects which makes QXAP great. Yeah.
I think our dream was to make open source, and we did. Along the way, I mean, at the beginning, we thought, we're going to make a fantastic open source project. People are going to give us donations. It's gonna be fantastic. We were young and
optimistic.
and optimistic. Now we're older. 10 years later, we understood how it really works. So we came up with what's our model in QXIP, which we call the Robin Hood. Celeste is the expert at explaining, where basically, since nobody wants to contribute to anything, they just want to use it. We have selected a few features that the big guys, those that already pay for 100 servers, they can also pay for a little bit of the software, and they sponsor 100% of everything that we manage to release. And we still, we keep it all open source, so it's quite transparent. They know that this is going to be their way to sponsor. But they know that even if they purchase a commercial technology from QXIP, it's based on our open protocol, so there is no vendor lock-in of sorts. It's just basically our expertise packed with bleeding edge versions of our technologies. And a lot of them, of course, are things that we learned along the way, reading your code, Maxim, and everybody else's projects. I think the secret of being good at monitoring is being involved with trouble and troubleshooting. I mean, you couldn't do this as a work of theory. You got to be in the mud. You got to be in the mud with everybody else. And Alexander and I have been solving problems for 15 years. And with Homer, we went and solved problems for thousands of companies, some even really large and complex. And we're just taking that experience back to the Homer community a little at a time.
Exactly, because it's always in my university. It was a really huge difference between theory and practice. Yeah, and of course, if you came with theory and say, I have one theory how to solve this problem, and in practice it's quite different. Yeah, it's quite different, and you could not even make steps. And here, with our background, with our experience, what we had in these years of 10, 20 years of experience in this real-time troubleshooting and monitoring, we did a great product. And nobody can complain what it doesn't work well. Yeah, so it's really experience. It's 100% of our technologies based on real tasks. Yeah, and if it's button on Homer, you see it's placed on this position. It's because somebody wants to, and it's use it in this position. Yeah, if you have a covers of call ID, it's because somebody. Hi, Giovanni.
Hey, Giovanni.
Sorry to be too late. I was blocking in the traffic, but okay, I'm here rushing.
It's all good.
Hi, Giovanni. Nice to see you. Hi, Giovanni.
And also, for example, just we have Homer 5, yeah, and we have a lot of users who use Homer 5 till now, and now we migrated to Homer 7.7, yeah. and they said, do you know what? In Homer 5, we have colors of quality. It's a little bit different. We said, but it has been generated from JavaScript function, blah, blah. It should be the same. No, in Homer 5, it was a little bit better. And do you know what? We spent 2 days to make analysis of exactly what's the difference between colors in Homer 5 and colors 7.7, how a table has been structured in Homer 5. And we found some points which we have re-implemented in 7.7. And customer says, wow, guys, you did a real amazing, great job. It's impossible. Yeah. Just small changes in colors and position make a huge difference.
At least we're copying ourselves and not somebody else.
Because do you know what we like is some companies which makes new product and say, now you can eat it. Yeah, so it's new stuff. But what we see, we have to look back and see how it has been before. Take notice from customers, for users, and probably re-implemented which stuff again, but in a little bit under small different view.
One thing that is related to this, it's also that for us, Maxim, sometimes it's hard because we can never mention who are our customers. What we do is monitoring, so we never get those referrals. So we cannot just show people who are actually really these customers and these users and how important can be their feedback on the features and the way that we develop the product. But I can assure you that the feedback that we get are really coming from very complex and systems that can be a good example for all the rest.
Oh, yeah.
That will enjoy the same features.
Also, we've been pushing for years to do monitoring that's we call it privacy friendly. I mean, it's never perfect, but at least it's privacy friendly. So, a lot of platforms say, yes, we're analyzing all of your traffic and here it is. But what they're doing in reality is record every single conversation somewhere where you don't know how long it's going to be there. You don't know who's going to be able to access it and whatnot. So our technologies actually are entirely focused on doing all of the job without storing any of the data. So we, for the portions of our stack that analyze, RTP and so on, we do it inline. So nothing ever goes to disk. Nothing ever leaves the kernel even. We do all of our calculation where Alexander does. And we only spit out what matters, which is, the metrics, which are also cheaper to store. So you can keep years of metrics or 2 days of invading all of your customers' privacy. So we're pushing for that. And hopefully that's going to resonate with, those that care about that aspect.
Yeah, it's also be GDPR compatible and so on. Yeah, so it's very important in our cases because some of users, it's worries what no users' information should be stored on disk and nobody should see who it was. They would like to see only exactly how to troubleshoot this call.
Yeah. What if you knew that your call is stored somewhere in AWS?
Yeah, it's same like in Germany because they, especially in this crisis time, they would like to see what servers it's located only in Europe. Yeah, and they don't want to store data in the United States. And in these cases also, it's very important what your data will be only available in your DMZ, and it's no bytes will left your platform.
And if they did, they're just numbers. They don't say anything about who's who. So hopefully, we're also walking in a direction where we can do monitoring in a way that, provides the same value to companies, but doesn't cost us anything more. We're already giving those companies everything. They know our name, numbers, emails, location. They don't need to hear what we're saying, I guess.
Yeah, of course, some in some cases, user wants to see full FTP streams, and we can provide it. But we try to convince user to do our way because it solves, let's say, 99.99 in period all problems here.
Oh yeah, that technology, we give it to the lawful interception people, that the only ones that have really the necessity to do that type of approach. And we actually have quite a successful history with that too. So providing those same technologies really that we managed to use and give away to Homer, also for really important and critical targets, such as exactly lawful interception, things like that.
Yeah. And yeah, probably we can tell also, explain about our roadmap in Homer. So it's exactly what, as Charlie already said, we have commercial stuff. It's called Epic, and we get some money, and we invest all this money what we receive to development. So in this year we grow very big. Okay, we grow our development team, and this team works on also for Epic, and we also works for Homer. Yeah, and some ideas what has been improved in Epic in years and big deployment and setups. We implement some of these ideas. We implement in Homer, just to make also community happy. What project is growing up, and make some nice ideas and some features able to do also in open source. So for example, we implemented and we will release soon in Amplify server some scripts engines which will be possible to do amazing stuff. So you can do it's a lot of features which will be able to do what you can do also in able to do in Chameleon, OpenZips, and also you can do exactly same stuff in Amplify server. And as you know, we in Homer 7.7 we redesigned completely backend. It's based on in Go or Lang is this API server, and user interface now based on Angular 9, and with some optimization with the EG engine. It works, as you see, it works very well. And we received a lot of positive feedbacks from customers, even who still use it, Homer 5. And after we migrated to 7.7, we said, wow, it's really wow effect. Yeah. And it's true. So it's, Lorenzo can say more, but we did not expect.
We actually have a question for you, Alex.
Yeah, sure.
On the chat. Somebody asking where are you broadcasting from?
Right
It's
now?
it's a secret basement in Germany.
Yeah. It's a bunker.
I can answer this one. When you have somebody as good as Alexander in your team, you got to keep them caged. So if you let them go around too much, somebody is gonna take them away. So we just keep him in this basement where he's basically spends.
If you're talking about the wall behind me, it's I built myself. Yeah.
Like Homer.
Yeah. Everything what I do myself. Yeah. So I don't trust anybody. So. If you would like to do it well, do it by yourself.
Yeah. Cool. How's the weather in Germany?
Oh, today was very hot. Of course, it's quarantine. It will be a little bit easier, so we can go outside. The shops are open, but you have to stay in queue and make distance, and you have to put mask on your mouth. Yeah. But so far, it's we come back to normal life. Yeah, because I spoke with guys from Ukraine and from Moldova.
Ukraine, yeah.
It makes a good example to explain to people how switches work. You can tell them, when you go to the supermarket and you got to wait for your turn, and then you get scanned, and only then you can proceed. That's a firewall.
No, but I think it's exactly. It's in Europe. I see how it has been in Germany and Netherlands. It was quite easy. So normally we can go outside, we can walk, we can walk, we can.
You guys.
Yeah. So I said
because we are not.
No, I said Dubovikov. I said in Germany and Netherlands. I know in Spain it was a little bit hard, but
we are still stuck in the house, apart from a couple of hours a day where we can go out. That is between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. and between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m.
no, it's impossible. Yeah.
This is
but
why
no,
we work so hard.
That's why we decided we're gonna croak XAP and we're gonna make it better.
But no, in
Yeah.
Germany it was quite okay. So let's say I could not complain too much because I can compare exactly how it's been, or it's in Spain or Italy, and how it was in Ukraine, and what I see it's also in Russia, and it's in Moldova. For example, my father is in Moldova, and she's 80 years old, and he could not go outside because he will get penalty. It's impossible.
Yeah.
No, he could not do it. So we are quite happy, I think.
I'm gonna say the best sign of recovery that I've heard is Giovanni stuck in traffic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's also good. Yeah. By the way, today we also stuck in traffic jam. So it's back to normal. I see. It's a good sign. Yeah. So I think this crisis it's go out. So we will be well. And you see, we improve a lot of good stuff, and of course, the world will change. Yeah. So because we got some information to think how we should make our life in next let's say generations. Yeah. And we see what we made a good choice to do right things. Yeah? It's exactly because I also met with my son. He's in gymnasium, and met also with another parents, and they said, do you know about Jitsi? I said, yeah, I know about Jitsi. Yeah, it's good platform, and our school would like to implement it to make like learning platform for our school. I said, yeah, I know him. He did a great job. And of course, in this case, we also, Lorenzo probably mentioned what we now part of Mozilla incubators, and we do this meetings platform decentralized. Probably Lorenzo, you can explain a little bit more in this case.
Oh yeah.
And it works also well. And in this case, we have also implemented some monitoring stuff inside, and Web.3, it's we're working more and more because we have a good connections to Janus platform, so media soups and everything. And in Homer 7.7, as I said, it's even easy to integrate with Web.3. Each year, it's always behind. Like a big company, fruit company said always it's more better, and in our case it's even easier and easier. And,
well, I can tell you a little bit of story about that plugin that I kind of talked about yesterday.
Yeah, sure.
And basically, right after we spoke, it stopped working. They
Oh.
probably updated Google Meet code or something. So now it does something completely different than it's supposed to do.
We're gonna have you try what we're doing. Maybe it solves the
actually, it's
Giovanni.
working, I think. Maybe it's not.
You mute,
Oh,
Giovanni.
now it works. But
I'm mute.
Yeah, you was mute. Yeah.
I was just checking the power of the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, Lorenzo, if at any time you want to present your screen or
but I think it's very important, or very important. It will be quite interesting to if Lorenzo will explain about this meet.
Yeah, it's just a quick mention. So I mean, the reason Homer is good at doing VoIP stuff is because we've been involved with it. So at some point, if you want to solve problems, you got to jump into the pool and get wet. So this is what we're doing. So there's a million platforms for meetings, and they're all fantastic. So we didn't come in and try to reinvent the wheel at all. But we were already involved since a few years with projects that were trying to go the D-Web way, so decentralized, back to peer-to-peer. So we try to take some of those concepts and apply them to video meeting room. So far, quite successfully. So we have basically a completely decentralized network that we use for signaling. So we can all talk to each other. We can all establish connections between each other without any server-side component. It all runs from the browser. It works, with standard stuff, and now with the Beaker browser, which is based on the Hyper protocol. So we're going next gen. We're taking risks. We're trying the stuff that doesn't yet work, and we're going to design the troubleshooting for these things at the core. So rather than come, in 2 years and try to reverse engineer what happened, we're going to do it at the beginning. So we're trying to figure out how to do exactly monitoring the way we've been doing it all along, by integration, by staying open, the same way that it was possible for like RTP proxy to have a HEP module. We want it to be possible now for browsers. So now HEP also travels on WebSockets, meaning that the browsers can now send statistics directly to our collectors from anywhere, encrypted with certificates, with everything, without breaking any, security. And it's a new model that we can apply to the new stuff that only really happens in the browser. So the more we go decentralized,
very, very cool.
Yeah.
So right now it's implemented in web application, and it will be also implemented. It's API stuff, and also will be implemented in Haplify server. In this case, exactly, each browser can send and connect it to API and make some exchange of with WebRTC information, statistics. So this means what in decentralized network you can see streams and information from another nodes in your communication. So it will be very cool because you can make automatically like BGP controlling. So it's OSPF. You change traffic to a different node and make, because here its destination is better. It's no packet loss, no jitter delay, and so on. It's a really cool idea, and now it works very well. And thanks also guys from GandhiB, because they did a great job. And sorry?
And what about the client part, the one that you use to communicate each other?
It's gonna be a browser shim basically. So just something that you plug into a web page, and if that page does any WebRTC connections or ICE negotiations or whatever else, we stream everything that you would see in the WebRTC internals of the browser back to the platform, and we add a few APIs. Nothing new. It's similar to how other people were doing it, call stats and so on. It's the only way to do it. So you inject something in the browser voluntarily, of course. So whoever the guy that manages the video platform, whether they choose Jitsi, Janus, MediaSoup, or something else, they can inject this, and the browser itself is gonna choose to send those statistics to the collector. So there's a lot of freedom here for developers to use it in different ways, but even for the end user. So the same stuff can work also if you just want to do the troubleshooting of your own setup locally. So it doesn't have to be necessarily the full-blown thing. It's something you can spin up a Docker container for, send in the statistics, solve your problems, and then shut it down. So a portable model, if you will. So right now,
on demand,
something that you imagine the operators would use, but we also want to go the way of the developers, the engineers. They need it for half hour. That half hour is critical, and then see you in a few months when I have that problem again.
But this is also beauty of Homer, because we have a lot of installations. We know because we did with packaged systems and so on. It's installed each month. We have 1,000 installations, and nobody say what they installed because it works. So it's
it's also because nobody wants to advertise that they do monitoring, interception, and all of that stuff. It's a spicy subject.
But we see by statistics, we mentioned about updates, new version, boom, installed 1,000 of this package cloud sent us reports, 1,000 of installations, bam. So but we are quite happy because we see our product works well. So we see its statistics, it's going up, and we are happy. We are very proud of this. Yeah.
Cool. You guys went to some trade shows, right? I heard Lorenzo and Celeste. You guys went. Was it IT Expo?
Yeah. We did all that we could before they stopped everything. So yeah, as usual, we do the rounds of all of our conferences, but now we have something to bring also to a little bit of a broader audience. So yeah, we did at the Expo, and hopefully when everything starts back, we're going to be doing many more. We're a little bit surprised to have seen that none of the events that we have missed, now we can say, managed to get online. We thought it was a really wonderful opportunity that we could have all, finally joined forces. We've been producing the platforms and the technologies that power WebRTC for the last 10 years. And then when it came to the moment of doing online conferences with RTC, it didn't happen. So that part puzzled me a little bit. Let's blame it on everybody being really busy.
Yeah, it's depressed. It's a little bit depressing.
Yeah. No. I think ComCon announced that they're going to try to do an online version.
I think all major now. I think I heard Clucon, ComCon, Asterisk, and some else.
Yeah.
So everything's going virtual. Well, we've been actually. I don't know. If you heard about it, we've been trying to push OpenShips guys to do virtual.
Absolutely.
But it's been a little bit tough. They're busy with the release, and so maybe if you guys can also kind of chime in and push back that, because I was like, oh guys, you should probably do something in the like September, October maybe time. They're like, I'm not ready. It's too much.
Because it's like shoemakers without shoes. Yeah, so it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, so you produce with nice WebRTC platforms, and you could not make online communication. Yeah, because exactly we do troubleshooting. In our lab, in our company, we do troubleshooting using Happy, Homer, and so on. We approve, and after we gave to all people to use it. So it's 100% working solution. And if you would like to show something, you should exactly make working for yourself. Yeah?
That's the best way. And by the way, I mean, Alex, I don't know if you want to show a little bit of the latest. We have of course, let's reinstate it for everybody that doesn't know. RTP proxy can send app statistics to Homer. So if we have to show anything, it's going to be this.
Yeah. So normally it's as I already mentioned, we redesigned completely some stuff in Homer. But ported back all ideas. For example, with covers and so on, we ported back from Homer 5, how it was, and so on. Here we have some result containers. You can make, if you do search, you can make results in the widget. You see, you can have multiple widgets. You can have multiple skull search and so on and so on. It's very important. Or you can
just to jump in, this changes the workflow a lot. So in all of our previous versions, you had to jump back and forth between a search form and the results, and going back and changing them was, a little bit tedious. So our job is to save people's time. So I think this is going to be one of the major, differences that we hope people appreciate, is that now you can search and look at the results and do everything from exactly the same screen. So there's no swapping, there's no back and forth. If you want to change a parameter, it's right there to the next. So you can refine and do all of that.
So, and of course, you can make any parameter search, and what Lorenzo already mentioned, it's about RTP proxy. Yeah. So RTP proxy implemented also HEP sender to us.
Mm-hmm.
And what is this exactly? It's okay. Let me find this one.
Well, you can look in the logs. If it's RTP proxy, it's gonna have some logs from RTP.
No,
proxy.
it's okay. I can do. Sorry. Search number you can send. It's because this is called what we did between us, Lorenzo. So, and let me do on default. You see? Yeah. This is how it looks right now. So you can change position on flow. You can go to by default in messages on any tabs what you have here. And this is exactly it's a test call what we did using RTP proxy. And you see RTP proxy sent TCP information to us.
Actually, go to logs. Maybe we can just confirm it. If you see, there should be a few lines from the proxy, probably the first two.
Yeah, it's RTP proxy. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. I mean, we do this
Nice.
in two chunk, so it's not sent directly by the proxy. So RTP proxy is sending us the statistics. The rest of the stack is sniffing the logs and anything else, and it all comes together. So the signaling comes from a system. The RTCP reports come from RTP proxy. The logs come from another agent. So this is a little bit of a, it's made look simple, but it's an orchestration of many bits and pieces.
Yeah, and of course we have
very nice.
Yeah, QS.
Cool. Yeah, I think one thing that is missing. I think we spoke a little bit with Lorenzo last week. I think about his project, and he pointed out that we're only sending RTCP at the moment, but we also collect a lot of session statistics like packet loss and jitter and all that.
Yeah, you can choose if you want to do a live coding session where we do it together, or offline. Those are the only two options, because we need to make this happen. I mean, it's so easy now that you already have the HEP sender in the proxy that we should really attach everything that you can possibly tell.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that for cases, for example, when we don't have RTCP going. We also collect in the RTP proxy itself. We collect a lot of statistics, like packet loss and.
But this information we have a HEP form, which called 35. It's a RTP reports. So normally it's also open this report, and you can send to Heplify. And send information and collect it and show in charts. It's
yeah, that's one of the
what
other
I'm
key
saying
points.
is maybe something for the next step. We should also look at improving that.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we're already ingesting all of your debug logs, so all you have to do is send them in the native way, and it's sort of ready to receive them and do all of the matching.
Yeah, and also in this case, you will have this information will be sent in Grafana or Prometheus. Let's say Prometheus or InfluxDB, and with Grafana and with our interface, we have charts widgets which can directly reach InfluxDB and Prometheus. Or
so we can exactly write down all of the RTCP statistics, of course, but we can also keep track of how many errors the stack is going to return. So if you fail to set up, you run out of port ranges or whatever, now this can be emitted and it can become statistics without any programming. So you just send a new event. This event gets injected into the statistics, and it becomes something that you can make alarms, alerts, visualizations, and everything else.
Also, what I try to show you, for example, if you have messages, and it was a request from our user, zip I, it's ISAP encapsulation, and we implemented exactly decoded, which we normally it's not, but normally it's can be also decoded ISAP information, and then SAP information will be displayed like JSON, all code number, calling numbers, calling information, and also you can inject one of our, let's say, a sponsor of Homer. We implemented exactly it's in asterisk ISAP encapsulation, happens encapsulation to Homer, and we sent this information and we displayed decoded always what you needed.
This also means that now Homer can parse any protocol, really.
Yeah, normally exactly. So we can inject any protocol here, any protocol. And here we can just connect it to external T-Sharp, and you can use any let's say dissectors which can be displayed here.
That's
So-
very, very, very useful because, for example, some of my customers has this need. And by the way, I use the OpenSpace CPI implementation. That's very good and gives you a lot of primitives. But apart from the primitives, you can also go down to the byte and get the stuff for yourself. But it's definitely so important to have CPI for, I mean, a lot of, let's call them serious customers.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, especially in 3GP and so on, with cases where you have a lot of injections, it can be even, you can store here diameter packets. It's
Of course. It works with map. It works with everything. So it's, it's a huge step going, to all of the neighboring facilities that we have around us in interconnection and peering and so on.
Yeah, definitely. If you can use the dissector of the shark, I mean, that's the end of all.
Yeah, of course.
Better than that, you cannot be.
Yeah, so normally you can just, in our case, you will store only packets. We will display some basic information, and payload will be decoded by T-Shark on demand, and you can do troubleshooting very easy. If it's needed, you can make what I already mentioned. We will have some scripting stuff where you can also connect some external libraries to parse some packets which are not part of SIP or RTP, RTCP, and you can make write native dissectors inside of defined application.
This is a big change because right now Omer is like for users, but at this stage it becomes a vehicle for developers. So you can literally take our technologies to build another product from here on.
That was what I was willing to say. That I can smell that there is another very big industry that is opening in front of you. That is all rest of the protocols, and that can be Wi-Fi, but it can be Bluetooth, it can be USB.
Oh yeah, and mostly it can be APIs. Half of our telephony now runs through APIs. So now that we have the browser, we have the server, we can dissect any protocol. I think exactly a new. It's not even a door. This is like taking a wall down.
That's perfect for the Internet of Things. I mean, you guys will print billions.
Just question for you, Alex. How are you guys doing? I heard, not heard. I read that standard draft you had for the HEP. Is it going any further, or is it
No. I understood. Yeah. So probably you see, we update this draft, so we add new protocols because we have also we had received also some requests to be so some let's say vendors would like to implement it HEP inside, and we had some vendors inside, gave them IDs, and of course it's always no time to finish and to make it real RFC. Yeah,
we need somebody that helps us make that step probably. So
it's probably Ole. It's he did some RFC. Probably he can help us.
Should give him a call.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try.
Over IPv6, of course.
It's very, very difficult.
And secure. It should be.
Celeste, IPv6.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are some certain things that I just looked through it quite quickly. I cannot dig deep. I think one thing that I kind of find a little bit kind of say missing probably, that you guys using the Unix timestamps of some sorts, some like wall clock timestamps in the protocol. it's a little bit how to say dangerous, I would say, because time wall clock is something that can change like under you.
Are
It
you
can go.
talking? Are you talking at the capture level? So every packet that we ship is stamped in microseconds.
Microseconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
microseconds is the maximum
yeah.
resolution we can have. And of
Yeah.
course,
I'm
we
not
live in
talking
a.
about.
No. We're then it was just to overview. Then of course, the timestamp of let's say where the capture happened matters when you have distribution. So the only way that we use it is just for synchronization, but that's the only layer I think that we are tapping in terms of system time.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that was in my experience building like real time software system, it's always very bad idea to use to rely on that for any practical purposes. It might be a good idea also to include some sorts of monotonic timestamp
Yeah.
as
Okay.
well.
You understood. Yeah. Well, it's a good idea. But okay, of course, because this Ep.3 has been built. Okay, has been based on this structure of time, Unix times, and of course monotonic. It can change. Yeah, we will think about it and probably.
Yeah, well, maybe it can be added at some point. It's like in RTP, you have like this.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's a different. It's
monotonic,
different between. Yeah. It's different between packs. Yeah.
This is material for feature requests.
Yeah. But yeah, of course, we during exactly it's develop of Hep protocol. We based on reality. It was 7 years ago. Yeah. And at this time, it was exactly this wall clock, this timestamp, Unix timestamp plus microseconds. It was enough. Yeah. Now, of course, with let's say real-time communication, yeah, it should be changed. But yeah, it's homework for next generation.
Yeah.
It's good to know what such requests can be handled. Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Celeste. Yeah.
Lorenzo, would you like to show Epic, or we can do it? You're muted, Lorenzo. Sorry.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I pushed the wrong unmute. I think we're good. I mean, maybe you can proceed with the second part.
Okay. So should I start? Yeah.
Or do you want to make a break and?
Yes.
Oh, we can make a break.
Play music.
By the way, for those who are wondering, the mystery box there are Sara and Gianluca. I don't know if Sara did a proper presentation of her set that she's playing.
No, I don't.
No, not yet. Yeah, no.
That's a shame, Sara.
Do you want me to color in?
I think it's worth it.
Just give me a second.
That's because we need to keep, polyedric. So every art is a good art at QXIP.
Hello. So we are going to do a set. We play. Our name is Kai Quevedo. We are a duo playing industrial techno, and we use only synthesizer and drum machine. And so we will do our session like a sort of industrial.
Yeah, this is the other skill of Sara.
One of the skills of Sara, the other face.
Since Sara joined the KXIP, and this is a little bit, I think, actually from all of us. Each of us has this technical, if you want, hobby that became a job, but on the other side, we are very curious people.
Yeah.
And each of us does something else.
And Celeste made for us some amazing video for our tracks, and we had fun. We had a
So
lot
yeah,
of fun.
we decided to make this session a little bit more comprehensive, since it was like an aperitif time.
Yeah.
Sara and Gianluca will show us a little bit of what they do.
We will have fun.
I let her go. Are you, Maxime, handling the volumes?
Everything sounds good. I think everything is cool. Yeah, I guess you can add a little bit of volume.
Let's be young.
Nice. Hey, thanks, Sara. That was a great show. You guys, a lot of equipment there.
Just give us a second that she's changing room.
Yeah.
Come back with us.
Oh, thank you very much, guys, for the great opportunity. It was a great pleasure for me.
Was the same Maxime that you have big equipment there.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the new toys. The
Yeah.
new toys of the week.
Yeah. One of that came this week, and another last month. And yeah, we changing a little bit, experimenting. So often we change the stuff.
It's so cool.
And then,
Congratulations.
what? Sorry.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much, Giovanni.
Oh, that's definitely cool setup.
For a place to open again so that they can actually play outside of the room.
Yeah. We are
Yeah.
with some streaming in these days, but it's good also to experiment a little bit.
Okay, probably we can make similar to on Camellia World or OpenZim 7.
Yeah, you should definitely sell your.
It will be amazing.
Nice. We can add the plus for the social event.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what I mentioned. It's a
Yeah.
Now you have
So-
now you have a pilot. You can
Also,
send
I think it was their first time over RTP. So
yeah,
Yeah.
should be HD quality next time. Yeah, so it will be a good experiment. Probably.
Nice.
I think it's Daniel will be happy to make some, some experiment here to make some music on social event, beer, wine, and such
Yeah.
music.
Really
Sounds
more
very
complete.
Thank
Why
you very
not?
much, Maxime, again for the opportunity.
Oh, no worries.
yeah,
It's,
thank you so much for
great
having us
pleasure.
all.
Lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us all today.
It's almost as good as meeting you, but we'll get there hopefully soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, our border is still closed. I have a lot of stuff stuck in the US. I have like mailbox there. There are some hardware that I ordered just before this things began, and I cannot go there because the border is closed, and they just prolonged it for another month. Everybody is scared because US has a lot of much more cases in general. Although out of all US, Washington State, which is the next state to us, is I think they're pretty good in general. But yeah, the problem with those policies, they kind of apply it all over the country.
visitors.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay. It's in Germany. They said it's probably next month. So it will be opened. All Europe will be opened already for traveling. Yeah. So
Here they said yesterday is gonna be July.
yeah, July. Yeah, and probably in this case also, let's say United States and next month can be also make some light traveling stuff.
Yeah.
Probably.
All hoping so.
Crossing things.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah.
But as expat, it become important to be able to travel or
Yeah, but a lot of
to
nice.
see our families right now.
Yeah, IT Expo, ClueCon, and all these conferences what we would like to attend. Yeah, some interesting for us.
Hope soon.
Yeah, I hope it will be soon. Lorenzo, do we have something more to say, or?
I'm gonna say it's been a pleasure.
yeah, it was a really pleasure to participate with Chronicles.
But you said you had some things to show or not?
We showed. We made a
showed already.
secret mute demo during the set, so it's all
Okay.
recorded. Awesome.
So everybody can listen music and at the same moment can
We optimize time.
watch our demos. Yeah.
Nice. That's a nice way out of it, I guess.
But yeah, we have a lot of new ideas, and we hope exactly next month we will release a new version of. Normally we today we will release new Homer 7.7 updates, which proved a lot stuff. And soon we will release for our customers new platform, which will change a lot. Say.
I see. So when are you guys going to have your own conference of some sort?
Oh, let's exactly go away. Wait a second, Lorenzo. The question was.
Sorry, I had a feline.
It's exactly question about our own conference.
Own conference.
Yeah, we thought about it sometimes, but we like it to do it together. I mean, we are part of an ecosystem, and
we don't want to push our brand. We like to co-op. So
yeah, it's like Grey Cardinals, So we.
Yeah, you are the one that manage information, so that's the great cardinal.
Exactly. We're around, We're around at the same time. So each, it's Homer. It's exactly part of each open source voice over IP platform, and this is real cool. And probably it was tech. This presentation of what has been Tech Hacker. They mentioned what exactly it's very cool. What Homer it's part of open source projects. Each open source project should be integrated or can be integrated with Homer, and this is cool. This is where we are real proud to see what we spent a lot of time, a lot of energy to make it real.
Nice. What about competition? I've seen there's another one like Ep.3, I think, or something.
We've met them at FOSDEM. What was it? A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Actually, even offered to join forces on the subject, but they didn't want to do it. It's I can tell you it's based on Java, and that's I think the only comment that I'm gonna make. But we respect it. I mean, that's a joke. They're doing some interesting stuff. To Alexander and I, it doesn't really look like much because we know this very well. But they have their own re-implementation
vision
of some of the same things that we do. So different UIs to similar challenges, but I think we're locked into the integration, the scaling part, maybe more than everything else. Plus, I think it's going to be a long way. We have a bunch of features in Homer, and hopefully a bunch of users as well. But it's interesting to see competition drives improvements. So it's good to have some competition for us because we have a reason, to make things better and to look at how other solutions are, addressing the same problems and so on. So it can only be a good thing for us. And
okay, but again, it's not first competitor who would like to re-implement it. Let's say Homer idea. So we have.
It's a very good idea.
It means what Homer has a real good idea, and exactly it's again we can be proud. We can be proud what somebody takes our idea and try to do similar stuff.
It's the best compliment you can receive, Alex.
Yes.
It's exactly because it's like. You will be proud if somebody takes you and make a copy of this. Maybe it's good copy, bad copy, but it's copy. It's good.
Nice.
Yeah, but we can say it's very doing good. Yeah, so we do.
Yeah. I think it's just for us it's fun because it's pushing us even more in the direction we want to go, which is to make this a generic collector for the next protocol rather than obsess on what we already did over and over and give it 20 looks. Now it's time to open the door to more data and see how this solution scales to other protocols. So that's going to be 2020 for us.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's our goal. It's not be like SIP capture. Yeah, of course, SIP capture it's very important for us because it's SIP. It's base protocol of voice RP. But now since WebRTC and everybody or each let's say engine can implement its own control protocols based on JS and etc. Which it's okay. So it's own way. In this case, we would like to be a generic platform which can adapt to any protocols which exist or even not exist right now. Because if, for example, with meetings platform, if tomorrow we will decide not to throw away everything what we did and make a new protocol, we can easily in 10 minutes connect to Homer and send this information to Homer without even annoying and asking how it can be implemented. So it's just plug in and it will be displayed and you can troubleshoot whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what people expect today, right? They want to configure an endpoint and see everything done. So
yeah, plug and play. Plug and play. You just switch on, you see data. You switch off, you don't have data. That's it.
Yeah, but in reality, it's not that simple.
No, it's not at all. So that's why we're still. We see ourselves as a platform for developers still. So we hope that's going to be appealing to the developers of those platforms enough that they're going to put it there at the beginning rather than at the end, which is also a lot cheaper if you do this at the beginning of before you have the problem. Not only you solve the problem quicker, but when things get worse in the future, you have a way out. We see a lot of our users and customers. They think about this too late, and then they have a hot potato, and they cannot really make a decision. They just have to take something and solve it as quickly as they can, making more mistakes on top of the old ones. So it's really, our best advice to anybody, even before choosing the product, is to make sure they choose one to begin with.
Yeah, nice.
No, but cool. It's really because just two words. It's because exactly it's first Homer 3 and Homer 5 has been exactly developed for developers. Yeah, so it's like it was a product where you can, if you would like to do something, you have to be exactly good developer or let's say understand how a C protocol works right now. Since with WebRTC and all this new stuff, you can be only, let's say, coder who can write just JavaScript application, and you can use, for example, Pastash, or this plugin, this engine what Lorenzo developed for such stuff. You can just attach.
We even have it for the SSL libraries. I think Giovanni was one of the few that actually tried it. Yeah. So for the cases where we cannot sniff the packet, we can sniff the libraries and send a packet with with Frida. So you can attach to the functions themselves and just get a copy of the clear version, and we send it up. So there's so many ways to do it, and it's a puzzle for people to play with.
And now, exactly, it was our goal. It was very cool, very powerful from one side. From another side, it's what you have a good point. Just make easy for normal users to install. And therefore, we throw away everything what we did in API. We implemented this web application in Go. We implemented a compiled version of Angular. Now it's only one package which can be installed in, I don't know, before it was Lorenzo presentation, install Homer in 5 minutes. Now you can install Homer in 30 seconds.
We did it. It won me $100 gift card at the IT Expo. So We spinned it up, I think, in 2 minutes.
Complete, yeah.
Complete, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so and it's now it's good for statistics and good for users. If we will release a new version, they just need to make apt get update, yum update, apk install, and that's it. So and you have a latest version. You should not compile, download, and make all this mess. Just one package, done. And very important, a web application is static. It's compiled once. You can deploy on any operation system. So it's normally doesn't matter if it's will be Debian 10. Tomorrow it will be Ubuntu 20, or Ubuntu 22 or LTS. Same package you can install and use it. It's changed nothing. Even if you will be lazy and or your, let's say, you have specific distributive, which you don't have support, you can take any Debian or APM package or APK package for Alpine, and install it and use it. This is cool, and this is exactly good direction to improve usability and improve our application.
Nice.
And also I told already, but we receive a lot of positive feedbacks from users. Very happy how we improve HOMA 7.7. Normally it should call HOMA 8, but we just let's say finish 7 with 3 branch, and next it will be probably HOMA 9. Lorenzo, tell me. HOMA 9 and HOMA 8.
We never did an odd HOMA.
Nice cat.
Yeah, this is our goal. This is our roadmap.
I think we're going to do the opposite of Microsoft. We're going to do HOMA 98 probably next.
98. Yeah. Oh. Cool. Have you got much traction yet with IoT capture, like decoding all those weird protocols? Or is it something you guys looking already or have considered it?
What protocol was that? Sorry, I missed it.
Like IoT, Internet of Things.
I'm going to say no. Not yet.
Oh no, we have VRT. It's in Amazon. It has been supported with virtual interfaces and so on. Yeah, we did some integration in RTP agents.
Is it the encapsulation layer?
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah, similar to encapsulation. But we have implemented this Virt stuff in RTP agent. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we're pretty good on time. So thank you again, guys, for stopping by and giving us a little bit of update and entertainment.
Thank you, Maxim and Giovanni, for having us tonight.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
let's stay in touch. I guess we definitely meet hopefully one day.
Absolutely, the first one.
In the meantime, we'll be around. And yeah, if you have any customers who are interested in integrating RTP proxy, also give us a shout.
Absolutely. we do in the background.
Of course.
Nice.
Thank you so much, guys.
Super weekend.
Yeah.
You too.
Be safe and be well.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Servus. Yeah. No, you could not say it's ciao. It's only if you say bye.
Okay.
Adios. Yeah.
Buona serata.
Yes. Okay.
Ciao.